What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been MIA for a minute, but I had a lot going on. But I did want to do this video as like my first 6 months as a realtor and some lessons that I've learned so far. So let's just dive right in. So you all know I started back in March when I got licensed. We are now in November. It's been a crazy ride so far. So I started at Remax in March. As soon as I got licensed, it was cool. The broker was cool. I learned a little bit. Some things I didn't like. It was a monthly fee there, and starting out, I just quit my job, so there was no way I could do a monthly fee for a brokerage. Also, I needed a lot of one-on-one, hands-on training that I wasn't really getting there. It was a lot of, here's a client, close them. So I didn't really care for that. Remax was cool. The broker was cool. Everybody there was cool. So really nothing bad to say about them. It just wasn't really for me. I switched in June and went to a place called Method Real Estate Advisors. I had a friend, Lauren, who was working there, and she was just ranting and raving about it, how they got leads, and everything was just perfect. So I interviewed and got on there, and I started there around June 17th. But let's take it back to when I was at Remax, because I actually had 2 closings there. So the first closing, it was a nice little old lady. She was super cool. I need to check in with her actually. But yeah, so we were scheduled to close like the end of March. My broker kept telling me to tell the other agent to push the date back. Wasn't really giving me a reason. It was just prolonging the closing. I was really out of the loop in a lot of that. It was more so just showing some houses. She actually liked one, so I wrote the offer with some help from a mentor and YouTube, of course. We got it accepted, so I was just freaking out. I had no idea what was going on. My broker was kind of spotty, wasn't really picking up, so it was just a lot of learning really on the go, and I don't really need that. I need somebody holding my hand the first couple of transactions so I can actually understand what's going on. So it was cool. We got to the closing table finally, and it was all smiles-ish at the end. A lot of confusion. We didn't know we was closing. When we was closing, I was actually out exercising, and I was like, no, you're closing today. So it was just a mess, but we got it closed, and it was kind of a shit show, but that was my first closing. The lesson that I learned from that is stay in touch with the lender. As an agent, you have a right to, so just make sure you in the loop, you know, all the dates, the costs, the everything that you need to know. The lender needs to be your best friend next to your current client. That was my first deal at Remax. My second deal, yeah, it was even worse actually. So at first, they just threw me another guy. It was a dude looking for a condo. He was cool. Everything was cool. We was looking from Buckhead to Atlanta. So, you know, we just looking for condos. He was kind of picky, but hey, whatever. I'll show you 100 houses if I have to. So we finally found one. It was cool. Got the offer accepted. I'm learning more how to communicate with agents and, you know, just really getting some experience. Is my second deal. So I kind of know how to navigate just a little bit. It was cool until 2 days before closing, when I'm not sure what happened. Something with the lender and the buyer. The buyer was like, he don't want to go forward no more. he stopped answering my calls, the lender calls, the broker's call. This is 2 days before closing. We cannot get in touch with him for nothing, so everybody's freaking out. I told the listing agent, trying to be transparent, just so we all on the same page, that the buyer disappeared, and she totally flipped on me. She was like, I might have to sue the buyer for my commission. I didn't know that was a thing, but I was like, let me get in on that, but I don't know. But we worked it out. My broker jumped in, saved the deal. I honestly think she kind of credited him some money towards closing. It cost something, she saved it, so pretty grateful for that. And we got to the closing table. I was actually kind of late. I kind of didn't want to go just because it was such a shit show, but I went in, I was kind of late, got in right when like the final signature was done, and just was like, congrats. And that was probably the most stressful one thus far, but hey, he closed. I'm sure he liked his condo. I see him around town, so all is cool on that one. And that was my second closing. But my lesson from that is, I don't know. I stayed in touch with the lender. It was just the buyer, so that was my second closing at Remax. So both of them were pretty rough, and I didn't really like that. So I talked to the broker and got her to release my license, and this was like June. So I started with a place called Method Real Estate Advisors, like I was saying earlier. Now this place is great. I love it. It's no monthly fees. The broker is always one call away. They have a great admin staff that pretty much prep a lot of your work. They'll write the contract. They'll make sure you're on schedule with your timelines and everything. And it's just a world of difference from going to having to And it's just a world of difference from having to write your own offer and do all the research and the CMAs yourself, to having a whole admin staff that do everything for you. So at Method, you pretty much just are on a Slack notification system, and that's how you get your leads. They send them in, you claim them, but you gotta be the first one to claim it, and then it pretty much just automatically connects you to the client, and you try to, I guess, sell yourself, win them over. My strategy is like, hey, you've been looking at houses, do you want to go see them in person? And it's been doing pretty well for me. Here at Method, I've closed about 4 deals so far, and I currently have 1 under contract. So I've been trying to close a lot of deals since I started. And yeah, no issues whatsoever. I really like this brokerage. Having a support system at Method and the broker who is always one call away, it's been giving me the chance to do more showings and get more under contract. So I really, like being there. Is no complaints whatsoever. And the closings that I've had, they've been pretty much standard. I've started giving out Ring doorbells as gift for each closings, just because it's been so smooth, and I want to be someone, we built a relationship, so I just want to give them, an extra little gift. Those closings, they're not really much to talk about. It's just, it is what it is. But some lessons that I really want to reiterate, just starting with number 1, is remember to talk to the lender. Like, at least, definitely when you're about to go into contract, right, coming up towards closing, just stay in contact with the lender, just so everything is going smoothly, and you don't have no hiccups or no surprises when it comes time to close. The second lesson I've learned is have a schedule. I still don't have a schedule, and I'm hoping this video will hold me accountable so I can get better at it. But yeah, it's like you have that entrepreneurial life and it's fine, but your drive really determines what you do. Nobody is gonna force you to call people. Nobody's gonna force you to show houses. And that's really hard that I'm trying to wrap my head around and get on the schedule. I watched Ryan Sherhant and try to get on his schedule, but yeah, there's no way I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. So that's not happening. But I'm gonna try to find a schedule that works for me and try to stick to it. Pretty much everybody has to wake up, work out, prospect / call your leads, lunch. I get the schedule, the gist of it. It's just sticking to it when you're at home, you just watching TV, it's like, hey, whatever. But no, I have to get better at it, and that's where I feel I could be doing more, and it would help me grow if I had a set schedule. So get a schedule. Also, the next lesson that I've learned is it's okay to show a client a house without seeing their actual pre-approval. Me personally, I don't care. I really don't ask for a pre-approval until we about to put an offer in. Now, if we seen like 10, 15 houses, then I'm like, okay, like you need to make a move because we're not just about to be seeing houses. And I didn't know that at first, but now I know, and it just comes with experience. People could tell you that all day, but until you out there and you really feel like, okay, now your time is being wasted, then you'll get the, okay, let me put my foot down and be like, we need to put an offer in, or I need to see your pre-approval or something to reassure me that I'm not just out here wasting my time and you just looking at houses. Do this online. Yeah. Next lesson. Set expectations and follow up and follow through. And yeah, just remember, follow up, because you'll lose a lead and these clients aren't really loyal. As soon as you drop the ball, they're requesting to see a property with somebody else. So definitely follow up. And I know it's hard. I slip sometimes and I'll call the client back and they'll be like, yeah, we were about to close. And I'll be like, what the? We was just rocking. So follow up, definitely follow up. Next, it's okay not to know everything when you first start. I'm quick to be like, let me check with somebody so I don't tell you the wrong thing. And I mean, I think that's fine. Just at least you're not lying or saying the wrong thing and it come back to bite you in the ass. So let me check with somebody and I'll get right back with you. And definitely get back with them so you're consistent and they like, oh, he keeps his word, and they build that trust in you, because that's what I'm learning is the most important thing. The client has to trust you. Like, they about to make one of the biggest decisions and purchases of their life, and they really need to feel like they trust you, so no bull come up anywhere along the way. And my last lesson, also some advice, is find a mentor. Someone you can call for anything. You are literally gonna have about 800,000 questions, and you need somebody who's gonna be able to just fire answers off and just break scenarios down and just really hold your hand. So if you can find someone like that, definitely reach out to them. If they've been doing real estate for a minute, that's even better. Just definitely reach out to somebody who's been doing it so you could get you know, some insight on how it actually is, let them break it down for you and just dumb it down in simplest terms. I mean, you're just starting out, so you're gonna need all the help you can get. So shout out to my little sister Lauren. She's definitely my mentor. She's been doing it about 2 years, so she knows a lot of the ins and outs. And if it wasn't for her, I definitely wouldn't have the success I've been having so far. So definitely find you a good mentor who's been closing deals so you could, you know, emulate them and have a successful career like them. So just to wrap it up, hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions you can see in the other videos, just put them below. I'll definitely do my best to answer them to the best of my ability and help out as much as I can. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll try to be more consistent with the videos and put it on my schedule. Catch you later.